Ryan, why don't you open us up for an opening review? How'd you feel about Drive?
I feel like I was lied to when I watched the trailers for this movie.
Yeah, I agree somewhat as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was good. When I watched the trailers, I thought I was going to get car chases, and I was going to get...
I thought I was going to get like an updated, gritty, like, Bullet. You know? Like an updated Steve McQueen movie. Yeah.
And...
It was. That's what it was.
Somewhat, yeah.
And I got much more brutal violence in this movie than I was even coming close to expecting. I mean...
Much more than I think you can prepare yourself. This is much more brutal than... There's not a lot of films I could put over this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just... like It was amplified, too, by people in the audience shouting out before something was going to happen. But it was just... but I still liked it, even though I didn't get what I came in expecting.
Yeah.
So...
Which I think is a testament to the film. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My biggest issue with it, though, was I felt that Ryan Gosling's character, he just... was too one-leveled. He didn't really... He didn't emote at all.
If he has depth, it's so, like, reserved and repressed that we can't even see it.
I'm pretty sure he smiled 3 times in the entire movie. And then, I mean, you do get a sense that when his father figure character dies, he wants revenge. But, I mean, overall, he's just so even-keeled throughout the entire movie. It's hard to actually get behind him. Mm-hmm. And
well, he's a vicious character. I mean, he is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't even want to call him an anti-hero because he's
not a hero. There's no hero in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's just the protagonist.
Yeah. Exactly. I thought this movie was amazing. Mm-hmm. In fact, I might even say it's the best movie of the year.
It's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I loved it from beginning to end. It actually was what I was expecting and more. I was expecting a car chase movie that was realistic. I don't know. I absolutely loved this movie. It was amazing. I thought Ryan Gosling's performance was so... You're right, it's very even-keeled, but within that sort of limited range, it's so nuanced that I thought he displayed a lot of emotion. Like that moment when he's in the elevator, and the kid's looking up at him, smiling. And he's looking,
I remember that.
And like...
They're just having a staring contest?
Yeah, you realize what's going on within just a couple of seconds, and nobody's even moving.
Well, then keeping that whole thing we barely talk about, the kind of circular aspect of the film. At the end, you're having a staring contest with him as you wonder whether or not he's dead or not. You know? And his eyes do blink. You know?
And eventually he blinks.
He blinks.
It's just... And I thought the car chase scenes were absolutely amazing.
Scenes?
There's one car chase.
It's one car chase. There's one car chase in the movie.
There's maybe not car chases, but the car stunts.
The car stunts.
There's a lot of car driving scenes.
Well, there's the I forgot. There's the opening car scene.
Yeah, but
that's not your typical car chase scene at all.
No,
it's actually filmed from the driver's perspective, which is actually an interesting take. But
it's still a car chase, but it's not a typical car chase.
And the second one where which is the classic car chase, being chased by an evil Cadillac, right? It's always an evil Cadillac.
And he's chased by the cop,
It was a Chrysler.
Chrysler. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, Cadillac. Steve, tell us about how you feel about Valhalla Rising.
So this is basically the Viking version of Heart of Darkness. That's basically what this is.
That's a good way of looking at it.
I mean, the boat, everything. He gets to the new world, and
as far as
all hell breaks
goes.
loose psychologically. So
one or two small savages attacks. I hadn't thought about that, but there's a lot of Conrad in this film.
Yeah, this is that was all Lord Jim a little bit. I don't know if you read that, but that's all. As soon as I got on the boat, I was like, "Oh, this is Heart of Darkness with Vikings." That's not a bad thing, but that's,
no, it's not.
That's what it is. anything with Vikings. You could just Wizard of Oz with Vikings.
But this is
awesome.
barely a Viking movie. This is not a typical Viking
No,
movie.
it's not.
No.
But it is extremely violent, which kind of prepared me for Drive a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was expecting what I.
I did the back.
Yeah.
When I first started watching this, I got very nervous because you're going through it and it's just a man in a cage and people like that single side profile of someone
Lots
talking,
of side profile.
and then like a cutaway to some red screen stuff, and it was like, oh,
time is not synchronous.
Yeah, a student art film again. No, not another Kafka. But then like things get rolling, and I started enjoying it, and I started getting into it. And I enjoyed. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Drive.
Yeah,
but I appreciated it, and he could have cut out made it a little bit more accessible, but
I thought
whatever.
The ending made the film satisfying, that they were actually in America, that they weren't in like Valhalla or some crazy fantasy world.
Because I fell asleep before the ending. I'm glad. I was actually wondering where they ended up, and it looked like it was probably going to be like America or something. And
but I mean, it's that sense of they don't know it, and it really gives you a sense of how frightening the unknown is. And his 6 parts, especially part 5, Hell,
the parts was interesting.
Is a frightening vision of hell. Really, really scary. And there's almost, I'm not sure there's any speaking in that part, and it's just like, it's disturbing.
Almost no speaking in the movie,
right.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only speaking in Hell is right before part 6 when he kills somebody for turning away from the church or turning away from Christ, and then he explains why he just basically betrayed his friend. Mm-hmm. I think that's the only speaking in that area.
You're probably
Drive or Wrath of Khan?
Are we nerds or film critics?
This is like an inner struggle.
The inner film.
My inner nerd is fighting my inner film critic, and I'm like.
Wrath of Khan is a very, very good, as a film.
Yes.
Just from a film point of view, it's very good. Because it's a film that maybe should not have been made, because the first one is so atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, the first one is just...
V'ger.
Yeah, the first Star Trek is terrible. It's an awful film. It's really bad. It's embarrassing that such a good TV show made such a bad film. But Wrath of Khan, as nerdy as we are, story, the characters, it reminds you that
it's the reason that they kept going. Basically, I think if Wrath of Khan wouldn't have been as what it was, we wouldn't have Next Generation and all the ridiculous spinoffs.
No, you're right.
Yeah, no, it is the reason that it continued.
Yeah.
This is tough. What do you?
You were going to say but. You were going to say but now you're deferring.
Because he doesn't want to make that quick decision.
It's a very tiny but.
Yeah.
Maybe not big enough to actually do anything.
I'm not a Trekkie, and the movies just never really did anything for me. So,
but they saved the whales.
That one. I'm not even
right. Yeah, I was like, wait, that doesn't freaking happen in the second one.
No, in the fourth movie. They said the movies plural.
Oh
so,
yeah. I wasn't even that big of a fan of the most recent one, the J.J. Abrams one. So.
We need a new intern.
Neither were Trekkies because it was exciting and fun.
Yeah. I think that was one. I liked the fact that it was that the new one was an action whatever. But we're talking about Wrath of Khan.
It was a good sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm not big on Star Trek, so I'm gonna go with Drive.
Now I just want to beat you down and go Wrath of Khan, but I can't. I'm gonna go Drive as well. I think it's.
Okay, that makes it easy for me. I'm going Wrath of Khan. Just so I can do a moral vote and allow my...
So you cannot...
I can let my nerd flag fly. And I honestly think Drive is a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like Wrath of Khan more. I'd rather watch Wrath of Khan.
Like, tomorrow I might change my decision.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I'm such a freaking seesaw here.
Your decision only means 1 point in our Flickchart.
I know. I'm now regretting it. Yeah.
If you want to go back, you can go back, Nate.
It's okay. I made it.
and also the Clippers won, which is
Right, again.
come on.
The Clippers were playing the Toronto Raptors. That's
Oh,
what
that's
they
true.
won.
They could win that game. So they chose the one team who's worse than them. Because, no, this year. Well, let's imagine it's the Raptors without Chris Bosh.
It was the Raptors without Chris Bosh because it was
The Clippers could beat the Raptors without Chris Bosh.
Because it was the Clippers with Blake Griffin. And
Yeah, and you heard them always going to Griffin. Yeah,
It's still pretty hard to believe. But